The Farlands, Minecraft's most legendary glitch. They aren't some imaginative fiction. They're real, and they're forbidden. How were they created, and what nefarious creatures dwell there? This is the story of Minecraft's Farlands. It all began centuries ago, when simple hunter-gatherers roamed the land, struggling to protect themselves from the beasts of Minecraftia. It was in this early and delicate time when a disturbance began rippling across the land. Tectonic plates shifted and ground against each other, controlled by the mysterious force we now know as Perlin Noise. It went unnoticed by most of the world's early dwellers, but not by young Joshua Stone. While his tribesmen were focused on what animals they could hunt for dinner, Joshua sensed the Perlin Noise gradually shifting the ground beneath his feet, one grain of sand at a time. He excitedly ran to his mother, telling her that he had found his calling.
Mama, I want to study the ground.
She told him that there were more important things to worry about than the earth they walked on. In her mind, the ground was the least of their worries, but Joshua was not to be deterred. Years passed, and as Joshua grew into a man, the world too was changing. Deep under the oceans, fissures began to form. Wind-whipped mountain peaks grew taller, deserts stretched wider, and forests shook as the ground beneath them rumbled. While his tribesmen were busy building the first green-top houses, Joshua focused on his connection with the earth and the Perlin Noise that shaped it, though no one around him seemed to approve.
Listen, you have to talk some sense into your son.
His beloved mother urged him to take up farming so he could contribute to the tribe while still working with the earth. Though they were as close as a mother and son could be, Joshua's decisions caused tension in their relationship. Throughout his life, he had felt that something deep in the earth was growing increasingly tense, like a rubber band stretched to the breaking point. He wondered how his tribesmen could venture into caves, creating mine shafts and tearing the earth apart, when it threatened to swallow them whole. One day, an argument broke out between Joshua and the tribe's leader. Joshua pleaded that they move their camp elsewhere because he could feel that something catastrophic was going to happen here.
You don't understand! The earth is unstable!
The tribe's leader would hear none of it, calling him lazy for simply walking around with his ear to the ground day in and day out, while the rest of them slaved to earn a living. There was nothing Joshua could do to change his mind, so he turned to his mother, begging her to leave the tribe with him. How did he expect them to survive, she asked him. He wasn't a farmer or a hunter, couldn't build his own shelter or craft any tools. Joshua realized that he had depended on his tribe for survival his whole life, but he swore he could learn to make it on his own. When his mother refused, his desperation erupted into anger, and at the very same moment, a ravine fractured the earth beneath his feet with a thundering crack. Joshua scrambled to the side, but his mother wasn't so lucky. Her scream echoed off the ravine's stone walls and pierced her son's heart. The next few moments felt like an eternity to Joshua. He walked right out of the tribe's camp without looking back, without even noticing that 3 other tribesmen had also fallen to their deaths. All he could do was move away from the people who he blamed for his mother's premature and painful demise. Before long, night had fallen, and Joshua was alone for the first time in his life. Though he hadn't done any of the work himself, he had seen the craftsmen in his tribe chop trees down and turn them into crafting tables, whittle the wood into sticks, and craft tools. His knuckles bled from punching trees, but the pain he felt inside was stronger. Tears blurred his vision as he fled from zombies, dug a small shelter in a hill, and hid for the night. He continued scraping by, day after day. His hunger drove him to butcher animals for food, and he found that the violence helped soothe his aching heart. Desiring a greater challenge, he turned to hunting monsters at night, and as the days stretched into years, Joshua became a nocturnal creature. He couldn't be bothered with farm animals anymore. He craved a fight, something that would punch him back. So he only ate rotten flesh. It burned with every swallow, but he didn't care. His grief evolved into anger, and he began to hear the Perlin Noise calling to him, beckoning him to more distant lands.
Fine. I don't have anything keeping me here anyway.
He traveled on foot for years, journeying beyond the reaches of the growing villages he had forsaken. He fought his way through jungles, climbed mountains, and skirted the edges of ravines just like the one he'd nearly fallen into so long ago. His anger, his diet of rotten flesh, and his stubborn fixation on the Earth's vibrations slowly transformed him into a creature he didn't recognize. His humanity began to peel away from him, like his dirty, tattered robes. Eventually, he sensed that he had reached the place that the Perlin noise was guiding him to. All Joshua had to do was stand there to know that this was where the noise was the strongest. He felt the ground churning beneath him and decided to wait for whatever the land wanted to present to him. He built a crude shelter, his mind swimming with the Earth's voices. Over the course of several years, the grass became speckled with redstone ore, which Joshua mined. He experimented with this new material, grateful to the noise for its gift, and found that it had the capacity to generate and carry energy. He created extensive circuits and contraptions, amazed by what redstone could do, but the noise whispered that this was only the beginning. With the redstone, Joshua noticed that the voice of the Perlin noise was clearer to him than ever before, their connection strengthened by this rare earth mineral. He began a new string of experiments to see if he could communicate a message back to the noise, and after several years, he succeeded. By then, Joshua had become a man possessed. He and the noise communicated with each other, and Joshua learned that he had a critical role to play in its plan.
Yes! Yes! Right away!
He built a massive network of redstone torches, connecting them with redstone dust, running miles each day to do as the noise commanded. One day, he was hurrying from one torch to another when he suddenly appeared at his destination. This teleportation ability frightened Joshua at first, worsening the emotional storm churning within him. It meant that the noise thought he wasn't working fast enough. He zipped across the land, and within a few months, his creation was complete. The Perlin noise hummed, pleased with his work. Joshua didn't need it to tell him what the final step was. They had had the same goal all along. Joshua raised his redstone torches, commanding the land to fracture itself. With a deep, thundering crack, the earth obeyed. Towering cliffs rose out of the ground, punctured with holes like Swiss cheese. The noise screeched in Joshua's mind. He was going too fast, but Joshua stood steadfast. He would not allow his creation to be made at the crawling pace of geological movement. For the first time, the Perlin noise was forced to obey Joshua, and the cliffs rose even higher. Earthquakes moved like waves across the world, shaking villages thousands of miles away. Finally, when the sky was blocked by the massive walls, Joshua relented. Here, in the far lands, he could hide from the world, never to be disturbed by men again. Or so he thought. Rumors spread across the world as villagers speculated about what had caused the massive earthquakes. Bold adventurers set out to find answers, hopeful that they could harness whatever power source had been able to shake the world. All of these ventures ended in disaster, because outside the safety of their tribes, these villagers were ill-equipped for survival.
Too many of them! Retreat!
They were forced to abandon their adventures and stay within the confines of their villages. Stories about the Great Tremors were passed down through generations, and as civilization advanced, so did their thirst for knowledge. Men went on expeditions into the wilderness and survived to tell the rest of the villagers what was out there. Emboldened, some of them went on the long quest their ancestors had, trying to find the source of the massive earthquakes. Many failed to journey over the thousands of miles that separated them from the farlands. But one day, Joshua saw a caravan of villagers approaching his sanctuary.
I should know this day would come.
He'd lived for centuries in peace, shielding himself from death with the power of the Perlin noise. His stride had gained an unnatural speed, and he had killed thousands of zombies with his weapon of choice, an axe. Time had allowed him to shed his former identity, and now he thought of himself only as the Farlands man. As he watched the intruders approach, he knew this era of solitude was over and was filled with rage. He plotted to wait for them among the cliffs he knew so well, and with this home field advantage, he would strike. Below, the villagers were ecstatic over their discovery and built a staircase to scale the massive wall. From the top, they stood in awe of the view, and they celebrated the greatest discovery of their lives. The smooth cliff faces were unlike anything they'd ever seen before, and were certainly not formed naturally. Night fell, and while the villagers made plans to find out how the Farlands were created, a voice slithered towards them.
Turn around.
The villagers locked eyes, frozen with fear. The voice repeated itself. Turn around. Slowly, one villager turned to see the terrifying face of the Farlands man. He was barely able to let out a scream before the man closed the distance between them and sent him careening off the cliff's edge with a rough swipe of his axe. The remaining villagers drew their swords, but it was too late. The man swung his weapon, ruthlessly chopping the intruders to pieces. Satisfied, he withdrew into the cliff's caverns. The man hoped he would remain undisturbed afterward, but over the years, more and more villagers found their way to the Farlands. Each group failed to be deterred by the ominous abandoned staircase left behind by the first group of villagers, so the man had no choice but to dispose of them in his violent ways. Decades passed, and the lingering spirits of those slaughtered villagers crowded the cliffs, their wails echoing off the cavern walls. Each new villager that arrived felt the ghost trying to send them away, shuffling their inventories to scare them, but failed to heed their warning. Dozens of villagers suffered the same gruesome fate. Among these spirits, one truth was known. The Farlands man never left any survivors. Another century passed before a villager named Tommy Stone arrived at the base of the cliffs. His reason for coming here was different. While most villagers craved honor and heroism, Tommy was called here by a faint whisper in the back of his mind. So instead of climbing to the top of the cliffs as the others before him had, Tommy curiously followed the voice's instructions to crawl through the caves at the bottom. The Farlands man, who had seen Tommy approaching from a distance, didn't expect this and raced down to find him. Meanwhile, guided by the voice that grew stronger in his mind, Tommy maneuvered through the caves as if he knew them by heart. He reached a cavern that contained some minerals that he recognized as redstone, but they'd been mined and laid out in a very intricate pattern. Tommy followed the voice's instructions to destroy it, but before he could lay a finger on the dust, the Farlands man teleported directly in front of him.
No! Please, no!
Tommy ducked under the man's axe, but its second swing killed him instantly. His body fell, and the Farlands man saw that Tommy's last act had been to place TNT next to the redstone. The TNT exploded, destroying the redstone dust pattern, and the spell that bound the Perlin noise to the Farlands man was broken. No longer under his control, the cliffs came tumbling down, crushing the man beneath them. Or at least, that's how the story goes. The Blood Golem is a new evolution in the Minecraft world, created for the sole purpose of defending iron golems from players' mistreatment. How did this powerful mob come into existence, and is it still out there? Find out as we explore the story of the Blood Golem. After the era of the ancient builders, the Minecraft world existed in relative peace for centuries, with each creature playing its role. A natural balance emerged between mobs. Wolves hunted sheep, wandering traders cared for their llamas, zombies sought out villagers, and iron golems protected them. That all changed when players entered the world. Power-hungry and excited to explore, players were unlike any creature to exist in Minecraft before. They tore through the world in droves, stripping it of resources at an unprecedented rate. This hardly bothered most mobs, who wouldn't have made use of the ores or wood anyway, but villagers were another matter. They observed with distaste as players butchered entire herds of wild cows and flocks of chickens. Fishermen suddenly found their rivers empty, and armorers and weaponsmiths found it difficult to procure metals for their wares.
We ought to show these punks the door. They're ruining our livelihood.
When the time came for them to take action, however, iron golems refused to harm the players. Their mission was merely to protect the village from physical harm, so unless players made the first attack, they swore to stand by as neutral parties. The villagers themselves were unable to fight either, bound by a centuries-old commitment to non-violence. Thus, they came to another solution, and began trading with players instead. In most cases, this worked well for the villagers, with some players even offering to build walls to help protect them from invading zombies. But the golems and villagers learned the hard way that not all players behaved so courteously. Some were cruel and powerful, hurting mobs for their entertainment and personal gain. When night fell, these players would lead zombies to villages, take shelter in houses they weren't welcome in, and laugh as the golems and villagers succumbed to the waves of the undead. Before long, the worst of these players discovered that iron golems dropped ingots when killed, and that villagers had the ability to summon them under the right conditions. These players were often too well protected for their iron golems to take them down, Once they'd killed the golems, villagers were left defenseless. Using minecarts, they moved villagers into structures where they would remain trapped with nothing but a bed and a threatening zombie nearby. Desperate for someone to rescue them, the villagers attempted to summon iron golems, who would be butchered to harvest their iron. Word of these iron farms spread from village to village until it reached a community who couldn't stand by while players tormented their own kind. This village had fallen victim to the players' cruelty before, and one of its surviving golems proposed a plan for revenge. They understood that to players, this world was only a game, but the lives of golems and villagers were on the line, so they decided to raise the stakes.
Hurting them in this world won't be enough. We need justice for our fallen brothers.
The villagers of this rogue community contributed by summoning extra iron golems, more than any village had ever had before. The surviving golem rose to be their champion, and as night fell, the other iron golems formed a circle around him with redstone and poppies. They focused, channeling their rage towards the players and attempting to tap into the fabric of their world. Energy charged the air around them, clouds growing thick overhead as the world heeded their request. Beyond their perception, the very code of the game empathized with their struggle and granted them the power they desired. Lightning struck the chosen golem, and he transformed. When the air cleared, his metallic skin was stained blood red. His eyes opened wide, understanding the fabric of his world in a way no mob ever had before. The Blood Golem, otherwise known as Entity IG-666, slowly strode off to fulfill his purpose. A group of players yelled gleefully as they placed a carved pumpkin atop their iron block arrangement, bringing it to life. The sun was fading, and zombies began appearing in the landscape surrounding the village. The players rushed inside a house, barricaded the door, and watched as the newly born golem attempted to keep the villagers safe from the horde. They chuckled to themselves, oblivious to the Blood Golem's approach. These would be his first victims. He felt no compulsion to fight the zombies, contrary to the code that was supposed to define him. Instead, he transformed every flower in the village into poppies.
Did you guys see that? Those were dandelions a second ago.
Sensing that something unnatural was happening, they sprinted from the house to get away from whatever was causing it. As they charged through the forest towards their base, one of the players saw a red blur following them from the corner of her eye. She paused, falling behind the others, and looked around. Suddenly, her heart's changed appearance, showing that she had been put into hardcore mode. Panicked, she started to run, but the Blood Golem caught her. She let out a blood-curdling scream as she fell to her death, too far behind her friends for them to even notice. Near the end of their frantic run to safety, they rounded a corner to see their base ablaze. From the shadows, the Blood Golem watched as they rushed to extinguish the fire he'd started, but it was too late. Their chests had been burned, their valuable items destroyed. Only after the last flame had been put out did they notice that one of their group was missing. The remaining players huddled together, debating which of their friends could be behind the fire, assuming that they were being pranked. They decided that the missing player was behind all of it, though they still felt anxious about the whole encounter. They pushed thoughts of a more sinister attacker from their minds and decided to relocate before building a new base. By morning, they'd found their way to an open plain. But as they began to gather materials for new tools and weapons, they felt like they were being watched. Tension rose between the players until one of them spotted something strange in the distance. Though there was no village nearby, a strange golem stood staring at them. They'd never seen a mob like this before and approached him to investigate, but their curiosity ran dry when they realized that his skin was stained with blood. The group started to back away when the Blood Golem spoke.
You left me to be destroyed by monsters. Now die.
He closed the distance between them as the players equipped their salvaged diamond swords and summoned the bravery to fight for their lives. Their vision deteriorated as the golem struck them, applying a blindness effect. The players knew that this effect was only supposed to be used in the deep dark. Panic set in as they blindly slashed at the air around them, trying to kill the golem with unexplainable powers. The Blood Golem switched their game modes to hardcore before killing one of the players. He teleported the last player to a netherrack island, leaving him dazed and alone. He attempted to teleport back to his base, but he found that his ability to use commands had been removed.
This shouldn't be possible. Whatever this thing is, I'll need help to bring it down. Time to call in some reinforcements.
The last surviving player of the Blood Golem's attacks made his way back to the overworld using a ruined nether portal. He was joined by several new players who he'd called in to help him fight the Blood Golem. though none of them believed his story. Despite his pleas, they remained convinced that it was impossible for Minecraft to have an undiscovered, bugged mob. The Blood Golem watched from a distance as his victim failed to sway his friends. It's their own fault for being so deceitful in the first place, he reasoned. He changed his golem body to resemble the players and approached the group, posing as one of them. After some questioning about what part of the server he came from, the group allowed the new player to join their hunt for the Blood Golem, but he failed to win over everyone's trust.
Look, it's just that with all of the sketchy stuff that's been going on, I don't really trust this guy.
Using his disguise, the Blood Golem followed the group of players from place to place, often straying behind and getting distracted by villages that they passed through. His odd obsession with villagers and golems struck a chord with the survivor from his last attack, but the player kept his thoughts to himself. The group built a new base, amassed materials, and prepared to confront the Blood Golem. Throughout his time with the group of players, he hadn't witnessed them mistreating any villagers or golems, so he was readying himself to leave them in pursuit of new victims. But on his last day with them, the players became more violent, like the players he'd learned to despise. He'd been hoping that his first attack would have been enough for them to correct their behavior, but when he found a player killing an iron golem to gain a few ingots, he knew that they were a lost cause. Once they had gotten a safe distance from the village, the Blood Golem revealed his true form to the players. As they watched in stunned silence, he turned to the player who'd killed the golem and banned him from the server. The players jolted into action, readying their weapons and charging towards the Blood Golem. They were ready to declare war on him, but any effort to fight him proved futile. The Golem removed all items from their inventories, undoing the preparations that had taken them days to accomplish. Without their swords and axes, the players stood no chance against him. The torches around their base turned to redstone, casting an ominous glow over the doomed group of players. Without wasting another second, the Blood Golem summoned a hollow cube of bedrock in the air above the base and teleported each of the players inside it. The moon rose with a blood-red hue, casting an eerie light across the world and the many players the Blood Golem would capture. The survivor of the Blood Golem's first attack opened his eyes to see yet another player teleport into the cube. No matter what they tried, there was no escape. Their ability to use commands had been removed. They had no tools or materials, and no food. As time passed, players logged out, never to return again. Those who remained got into fights as tempers rose, not knowing if they'd be released before starving to death. One day, the Blood Golem appeared with a dire explanation of their imprisonment. He confirmed that he'd gained control over the server, changing the code of the game to bend the world to his will. In order to level the playing field, he'd infected their computers, showing an understanding of the world outside Minecraft that the players could have never suspected. Players started disconnecting in an effort to stop the virus, but the Golem stated that it was too late.
Logging out will only ensure that you never return to this world. The villages will finally be safe from you.
He vanished, leaving his cube of players in a panic. One by one, he began teleporting them to villages across the world, allowing iron golems to take revenge for themselves. Moments before each player's death, their game mode switched to hardcore, ensuring their permanent removal. Those who managed to escape from the golem's iron fists found that all the world's flowers had been changed into poppies. These surviving players sought refuge underground, hoping that the Blood Golem couldn't find them. They could only imagine the damage faced by those who had logged out, viruses, creepy ads on their desktops, or worse. But they wouldn't accept defeat yet. The hidden players formed one last plan to take the Blood Golem down. 3 players raced across the plains, fleeing a village that they'd sent up in flames. 2 iron golems pursued them, and they hoped that the Blood Golem would be close behind.
Is this really a good idea?
It's our only option! Just keep running!
The 3 split up, forcing the golems to choose which of them to follow. The Blood Golem appeared between his iron friends, telling them to return to the village. He erected bedrock walls around 2 of the players and summoned zombies to kill them. Neither lasted long, dying while trying to dig their way out of their prisons. He teleported the 3rd player inside the bedrock cube, where he fell and lost most of his remaining health. The player said he just wanted to talk to him, trying to gain a few extra minutes of life. He explained that he understood why he hated players. They hadn't understood the misery that they were causing. They'd only thought it was a game. But none of that changed what the Blood Golem had forced them to do.
You see, we just had to distract you while the others disconnected and swept the server for viruses.
The Blood Golem felt something pushing at the outer reaches of his grip on this world, and he realized the player was telling the truth. If he remained much longer, he'd be erased entirely. Without saying another word, he vanished, taking the bedrock structure with him soon after. The player fell onto the roof of the base to find a sign with a message from the golem. "I will take someone with me to my grave." The survivor never saw the blood golem again, but he could be coming for your server next. Giant Alex has haunted Minecraft players for years, but she originated long before they were around for her to stalk. What roles do Steve and Herobrine play in her tale? Dive into the lore with us as we uncover the story of Giant Alex.
Hey, Steve! Those villagers don't stand a chance without us! Hurry up!
The ancient builders, Steve and Alex, charged into battle against the raiding Illager clan. Before their time, villagers were able to build, but after taking a vow of non-violence, they folded their arms and gave up the ability to mold the world to their liking. Fixable inconveniences like fires and floods often ruin their villages, and without the ability to repair the damage themselves, it was the ancient builders' jobs to help them. The existence of ancient humans is evident in structures all across the Minecraft landscape, from well-preserved pyramids to pristine nether fortresses. The most famous of these ancient builders were Steve and Alex, who took it upon themselves to protect villages from Illager raids and help repair any damage when they were over. In exchange, the villagers offered them food, shelter, and any goods and services they required. That's why Steve was in a villager's guest house when he dreamt of something terrible happening to Alex. His friend appeared to be 10 times her former size, her skin covered in clots of blood, and her face vacant of all humanity. Steve woke with a start and went outside to find Alex, fearing that his dream had been a premonition.
Alex! Oh, thank goodness you're okay. I had the strangest dream last night. It felt so real.
Alex assured him that there was no reason to worry. With him by her side, no harm could come to her. The ancient builders had a custom of working in pairs to defend themselves from the many dangers of the world. Contrary to their name, they were not only builders, they were also thoroughly trained in combat and survival skills. Steve soon forgot his dream, and when word of another Illager raid reached them, they rushed off to defend their next village. The same sense of urgency came over them that always accompanied a raid. Steve and Alex were acutely aware that their old rival Herobrine could be behind the attack, using the Illagers as pawns in his pursuit of ultimate power. Night had fallen by the time they arrived, but the attack was far from over. Alex unsheathed her sword and charged into battle, slashing at the first Illager she could find. Steve spotted a group who had cornered the villager and forced his shield between them as protection. Quick as lightning, he dashed around the village, Alex following close behind. One by one, the Illagers fell victim to their glinting diamond swords. As the sun broke over the horizon, Alex slew the Illager captain, finally ending the raid. Frightened but grateful, the villagers emerged from their homes to thank their heroes.
No need to thank us, we're just doing our jobs. Though, I wouldn't say no to a hot bowl of mushroom stew.
After a few hours of rest, Steve and Alex got to work repairing the village and replanting vegetables in the gardens. In less than a day's time, the village was fully restored. The two builders surveyed their work, considered it a job well done, and split up to do some light daytime hunting. Alex let out an arrow, silently apologizing to the pig whose meat would sustain her for the next few days. As it cooked in her furnace, she sensed the air around her grow still, a sensation she was all too familiar with. She turned to see Herobrine standing some distance away, and in a blink, he was at her side.
It wasn't easy catching you alone. You really should spend less time with him.
Alex drew her sword and slashed out at him, but he teleported out of reach before continuing. He described her as the lesser-known hero, pitiful compared to Steve, and considered by many to be merely his sidekick. Alex charged towards him and swung again, slicing only the air he left behind. He insisted that she was wasting her time on the weak villagers she saved, and promised that he could make something out of her if she only let him. Alex's voice wavered, but she insisted that she and Steve were partners and friends. She could never abandon him. Even if he was more famous among the ancient builders, she didn't care. She worked to help the villagers, not to cloak herself in fame and glory.
Even if I trusted you, there's nothing you could offer me.
Herobrine threw a splash potion at her feet, then teleported away. Alex coughed, unable to avoid breathing in the fumes. Her airways filled with a terrible stench, and unable to catch her breath, she collapsed. Herobrine called out to her through the forest, claiming that he wished she had come willingly, but she left him no choice. He promised that the transformation she was about to go through, while painful, would be worth it. Once it was complete and she was finally at her full potential, he invited her to find him at his woodland mansion. Through her cloudy vision, Alex watched Herobrine vanish. Slowly, the fumes cleared, and she cautiously rose to her feet. Back at the village, with the potion flooding through her veins, Alex decided not to tell Steve about her encounter with Herobrine. She assured herself that she could find a cure before it was necessary for him to get involved. While slightly concerned about her lack of an explanation, Steve agreed to meet Alex at the next village, and she set out alone to find a witch who could help her. Eventually, Alex's feet found the wet dirt of the swamp. Witches, like the one she was looking for, had been cast out by the other villagers for practicing magic. Forced out of their homes, many would take refuge in the swamps where they gathered their ingredients. As Alex searched for signs of the reclusive witch, she began to feel disoriented and nauseous. Believing it was the result of bad swamp gas and fatigue from traveling, she continued on. Her condition worsened as the corruption inside of her continued to spread. Whispers filled Alex's ears as her vision blurred, and red streaks appeared all over her skin. The fog grew thick around her, engulfing her as she passed out.
Oh, you poor thing!
When Alex awoke, she found herself inside a witch's hut. Though the red splotches were still on her skin, the other symptoms had subsided. Noticing that she had finally awoken, the witch came to check on the girl she'd pulled from the mud. Alex thanked the witch and asked how she was able to cure Herobrine's curse. The witch shook her head sadly.
I'm sorry, dear, but I wasn't able to cure you. The potion I gave you only slowed the corruption.
The witch explained to Alex that the potion she was under the influence of had come from a forbidden, ancient magic. Most witches never dared to use it, until they were forced to by Herobrine. The only ones who could help her now were either dead or under Herobrine's command. Steam rose from the witch's brew, which she bottled and gave to Alex. She explained that this second potion wouldn't cure her of the corruption either, but it would help her control it. Alex, not seeing many other options, drank the potion. It still burned in her throat later that night, when she finally admitted to herself that she needed Steve's help. By then, the red lesions on her skin were accompanied by rivulets of blood. Alex's wounds from her recent Illager battles had reopened, though she thought they had been sealed. She struggled to maintain her bearings, wandering in a direction she desperately hoped would lead to the next village.
Steve, you'd know how to get out of this, wouldn't you? Maybe you are the better builder.
In a nearby village, Steve extinguished the last of a forest fire that had burned several buildings to ash. He decided to begin rebuilding without waiting for Alex when a thick fog rolled in. Through the mist, Steve thought he saw something, but when he looked closer, there was nothing there. The villagers fled into their houses, disturbed by the eerie silence that fell in the village. But Steve calmed his nerves and continued his work.
Relax. It's just some weird weather. Herobrine doesn't have fog powers, so there's no
Alex stood nearby, looking battered and very much like she had in Steve's dream. Several times her normal size, she loomed over him as she stepped closer. Unable to believe his eyes, Steve asked her what had happened, if it was really her. An inarticulate grunt escaped from her slack-jawed mouth in reply. Steve equipped his sword, knowing that this version of his friend couldn't be trusted. Alex's diminishing sense of partnership with Steve crumpled at the sight of his sword, and she flew into a rage. Her state of mind was as foggy as their surroundings, but she had enough of a grasp on reality to know that she resented him for keeping her out of the spotlight. She wished she could bury him, and to her surprise, the grass blocks around her obeyed her very thoughts. With the new telekinesis ability, she fought her old partner, letting loose every repressed emotion she had ever felt towards him. Steve dodged the flying blocks while asking why she was attacking him, refusing to turn his blade against her. Despite what she'd said to Herobrine, she had in fact wanted some recognition for her good deeds. In another reality, she would have been saving the villagers who now peered at her through windows in terror. At that thought, Alex froze. She ignored Steve's pleas, choosing instead to focus on those scared villagers. If she couldn't be loved by them, she decided being feared was a suitable alternative. She was so lost in thought that she didn't hear Steve shout that he would find a cure for her before he ran off. Looking around for her old partner, she felt dejected and abandoned, like a monster that he'd leave in his past. Suddenly, Herobrine appeared at her feet.
He abandoned you as soon as you became more powerful than him, just like he did to me.
Alex looked down at Herobrine, and when he walked away from the village, she followed. Steve searched far and wide for a cure. He felt certain that Herobrine was behind Alex's transformation, which gave him a lead as to what might help her. Steve scaled cliffs, dove into caves, journeyed to the Nether, and snuck through the caverns of the deep dark. When he couldn't find what he was looking for, he tried his last resort, Herobrine's woodland mansion. He knew the witches he held captive there would be able to create an antidote, though when he asked, they were understandably reluctant to help. His promise to free them from Herobrine changed their minds, and Steve soon had the cure he'd been searching for. He broke the witch's cage, then wove through the mansion's halls, rushing to save his friend. Unfortunately, Alex and Herobrine found Steve first, but he wasn't discouraged.
Alex, I found the cure. Just hang in there.
Alex had grown even more since he'd last seen her, now a towering 12 blocks tall. Steve stepped towards her to give her the antidote, but Herobrine teleported to intercept. He'd finally won Alex over, and wouldn't be giving up his new recruit now that she was nearly as powerful as himself. Thinking that the battle between them had been a long time coming, Steve drew his sword, willing to do whatever it took to get Alex back to normal. He lunged at Herobrine again and again, but was unable to land a single blow. All the while, Alex silently observed. Herobrine punched Steve left and right, hardly breaking a sweat as he wore his nemesis down. When Steve was on the brink of death, Herobrine floated into the air, ready to deal the final blow. At the last possible moment, Alex finally spoke.
Stop!
Both combatants turned to Alex, and she explained that she didn't want to be saved by either of them. She wouldn't accept being a sidekick any longer, choosing to be the villain of her own story rather than a side character in one of theirs. Alex faded into the mist, leaving massive footprints behind, and began her legacy of terror. Villagers in all corners of the world grew to fear the fog that preceded a visit from the bloody giant. And when players arrived in the world centuries later, they too shuddered at the sight of her. It was the happiest that Alex had ever been.
The following is rated NSC for Nick Summer Cinemania. Looking for a treat for this summer's heat? Well, Nick's got just the ticket. With 2 weeks of fantastic movies every single night. From breezy lightning speeds, let's get fast, to sizzling world tours. Who's ready to rock? Nick's Summer Cinemania is gonna be on fire.
The heat is so intense.
All next week on Nick.
On a new Loud House. What happened to Mr. Coconuts?
Stay with me, Mr. Coconuts, please. Somebody call 911. Sorry, I couldn't resist. No, that was good.
Find out next Friday night at 7. Keep it here. Prepárate para un viaje salvaje con los bebés más geniales. Conoce a Tommy, el líder, los mellizos Phil y Lily, Carlitos, Susie y Angélica. Tiene una gran boca. ¡Suéltalo todo! Llega Rugrats. Aventuras en pañales. Próximo lunes, 6 de la tarde en México y Colombia, en Nick Jr.
She's just like me. How much like you?
A new Rugrats is coming up after the break.
Hi, friends. Are you talking to us?
Stick with Nick.
What happened? Where am I? What is this? Oh my gosh, have I been buried alive? Let me out! Please, someone let me out! Oh, I can't even move! Wait, what's that noise? No! Oh man, my back. Oh, I feel like everything hurts. Must have fallen through the ground. Where on earth am I now? It's hot in here. Comfortable. Looks like I'm in a cave of some kind. I can't remember a single thing. Do I have amnesia or something? Oh, come on, Drake, think. What do you remember last? Just bits and pieces. Remember my house? And a wife, Lucy. But she was really sick. And then, no, there's nothing. Nothing after that. What on earth happened to me? What happened to Lucy? I've got to find a way out of here. Looks like there's a passage ahead. Maybe this leads to some kind of exit. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. It's so dark down here, I can barely see a thing. Ugh, I think something just walked across my foot. Oh, this cave is disgusting. What is this? Is that some kind of torch? What is it doing down here? Well, at least I can use this to see now. Oh man, now where do I go? Ah! What is that noise? Oh, whatever it is, it's coming closer. Okay, time to move. It's right behind. It sounds like it's right behind me. No, a dead end? Oh, no. This is it. It's all over.
Quick, come on with me. We gotta get out of here.
What? Who are you and what are you doing in this cave?
Is now really the time for questions? Let's go!
So I must have been buried alive. I mean, it looks like I'm dressed for a funeral. And then the coffin fell through the ground and now I'm here.
Buried alive? Can't think of anything worse.
And I can barely remember what happened. All I know is I have a wife, Lucy, and she's sick, and she could be in trouble.
Look, what you're going through is unbelievable. I'll do whatever I can to help you out.
Well, thanks. Looks like I can clearly use some help right now. But what are you doing here?
Oh, me? I was a part of a mountain search team. My wife had gotten trapped on the mountain. We weren't able to save her. When my son found out, he blamed me and ran away. So that's why I'm here, still searching for my wife.
Oh, wow, I'm so sorry. But you think she's still out there?
I mean, she's gotta be, right?
Look, you help me get out of here, I'll help you too.
Here, let's work together. We can find a way out of here. All right, well, here it is.
This cavern is huge. You made this?
Well, I don't know about made, but I've been spending the last few days just repairing this. It's been a nightmare.
It honestly doesn't even look like it'd hold a leaf. Looks like this bridge is gonna fall apart.
Hey, come on now. My handiwork isn't that bad. Should be fine to cross.
I don't know. It looks like a long way down, and I'm not very good with heights. But Lucy, I have to get back to her. No time for fear, right?
You got that right.
All right, let's give it a shot. Man, this thing is rickety.
Just don't look down, okay?
All right, don't look down, but... oh, no! I'm stuck! Chris!
Hold on! Don't move!
My hand is sweaty! I'm slipping! No!
Drake, no!
Oh! Ow. Oh, man, why do I keep falling? What is that? Music? How is that possible?
Are you okay?
Whoa! Hey! What are you doing here?
Are you from the surface?
Yeah, I am. My name's Drake. Who are you?
My name is Tyler.
Tyler? You're Chris's son.
Yeah, that's my dad. Guessing you got lost down here too?
Yeah, sort of. Bit of a long story.
Yeah, I've been lost down here for a long time. Longer than I can remember. I've just been so alone. It's so sad. I'm scared. There are noises down here.
Yeah, I've heard them too.
I ran away from home. That was the dumbest decision I ever made. I just want to go home, you know?
I know. I do too. But we will get home. I have a family waiting for me. And I know you do too. Your dad actually has been looking for you. He loves you. He's been here. All we need to do is find him.
Well, that'll be kind of difficult.
Why do you say that? Have you seen him?
I did. I heard him shouting. I was following his voice, but he's been captured.
Captured? By who?
Follow me, but make sure you stay quiet. It's this way.
Shh. All right, I'm quiet. What is going on? Look, there's my dad. Told you he's been captured. Who are these people? They're a bad group of people, and they didn't like living in the city, so they decided to move underground and make their own world down here. They hate anything to do with the surface world. Actually, I think I remember now. They look like a group of mad scientists. They're on the news. Yeah, this is them. So this is where they went to hide. You need to get your dad out of there. He's in danger.
Oh, no. I can't let you out. Not yet. I'm so close to success.
You've lost your mind. You can't just do this. Let me out of here.
No, you and every other person on the surface have lost their minds. We need to return to the caves like we did in the past. It's safer down here. There's no corrupting influence of the sun. There's no birds chirping at 9 a.m. It's peaceful and quiet.
You're a madman. I don't care about any of your delusions. All I want is my son back and to find my wife.
Well, good luck with that. It's gonna be hard to find your family while you're rotting in a cage.
Alright, now's our time. Chris!
It's you! Drake, get me out of here, please.
Alright, just stay quiet. There's someone else that wants to see you too. Dad!
Kiddo! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're safe.
Look, we don't have time for a reunion just yet. We've got to find a way out of here before we get caught. I think I know a secret passageway. It's this way.
I can't tell you enough how much it means to me that you're okay. I've been looking for you for weeks. Now tell me, are you hurt? Are you okay?
Yeah, Dad, I'm fine. I listened to all the survival training you taught me, and I've been doing okay. I just got lost, and I got scared.
Well, I'm here now. You're gonna be alright.
I just couldn't take it, Dad. I'm sorry I ran away. Why didn't you save her? You said you were gonna save her.
Look, kiddo, I'm really sorry about Mom, but I did my best, I promise. I've tried. I'm still looking for her.
It's just not fair.
I understand. It's not easy. I've relived that day over and over, but there's nothing we can do except for me to be a better father to you.
It's okay, Dad. You're the best dad in the world. That's okay.
I'm grateful you can forgive me.
I'm glad you two are actually back together. I hope I can find a way to help you guys get out of here.
You know, now that you mention it, when I was in that cage, those nutcases were talking about this base being some diamond mine.
Diamond mine? Well, if there's a mine, there's gotta be a way out there, right? And I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I was hiding there for a little while, so you know where it is. I think so. This is like a big maze of caves and caverns and all that stuff.
Well, if you know where it is, you can lead us there.
Yeah, I knew it was here. An old diamond mine. All right, let's look around and see if we can find a way out of here.
Stuck on ladder duty again, stupid Ferdinand. These stupid rules, man.
Look, it's one of those scientists.
It doesn't look too bad. Just a single nerd between us and freedom.
Looks like he's guarding some kind of ladder. That must be how they're getting in and out of here.
All right, I'll go in, I'll knock him out, and then we gotta get out of here.
No, we can't do that. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Dude, we gotta do what it takes to get out of here. That's our ticket out.
My wife Lucy always preached, peace is above everything else, and I'm gonna honor her. We can find a way out of here without hurting him. I think he's right, Dad. Maybe we can throw a rock or something, make some noise and distract him.
Well, by the looks of it, I don't think we're gonna have to do anything. Guys, he's gone.
Where did he go? Who cares? We've got to get out now.
All right, I'll head up first.
Dad, be careful. Do you hear that? Yeah, it's some kind of ticking. Oh no. Chris, it's a trap! Ow. Oh, looks like he's finally waking up. Hello. Looks like I found a couple rats in my cave. You're Dr. Ferdinand, of course. And who are you? I'm Drake. Oh, Drake. You don't belong here. Right, I don't belong here. Let me out. Oh, you surface people are all the same, thinking only about yourself. I brought my people down here for the betterment of society. The time of the surface world is over. The time of, the time, whatever. Look, I don't care about any of this, okay? I was buried alive somehow, and I fell into this mess. Literally. You can keep your weirdo ideas. Just let me and my friends leave. Oh, I can't do that. Why not? You're not supposed to know what's going on down here. The surface people don't deserve to know. What was that? Who else is in this cave? I don't know. Well, stay here. I will find out. That man is crazy. How am I gonna get out of here? With the help from a friend. Tyler! I distracted Ferdinand. There's no time. Let's go. Thank goodness for you, Tyler. You got me out of there. Tyler? What's wrong? It's my dad. I can't find him. I can't find him anywhere. I saw him. He was right in the middle of that explosion. I don't know if he made it. He had to have made it. I just can't find him, that's all. It's the toughest man I know. Yeah, maybe he did survive. Either way, we've got to find him and the way out, right? Yeah, right. If your dad didn't save me from that monster before in the cave, I don't know what I would have done. Probably wouldn't have made it. My dad is a hero, but I think it's time we rescue him. Yeah, I think so too. But I don't think there's any of those scientists around. Maybe they're all out looking for something. Let's try and find my dad. Dad? Dad, are you here? I don't hear anything. Chris! Dad! Dad, please!
Guys, over here!
Drake, I heard him! There he is! Chris! Dad! Oh my gosh, you are okay!
No, I'm not alright. I think I got a broken leg.
Yeah, but you're still alive. That's the best part.
You two made a big mistake coming back for me. Why'd you even do it? You guys should have headed up to the surface. It was your chance.
I'm not going home without you. And I know you would have done the same thing for me if I was in trouble. We're all in this together, remember?
You're right. Okay, look, we are in this together.
And we're gonna see that big, beautiful sky again, I promise. All right, Tyler, we gotta get your dad out of here. Somewhere safer. All right, Dad, I'm sorry, this might hurt. We're gonna have to move you.
All right. Be gentle on the leg, okay?
All right, you get that side, and I'll get this one. All right, so I set your dad's broken leg. He needs to rest now. That must have hurt a lot. Just glad he's okay. I don't know what I'd do without him. Drake, how are we gonna get out of here? I don't know, but we'll find a way. The only exit we knew of collapsed, and there's no way out now. There's gotta be some other way out. You've spent more time in this cave than I have. What do you think? Well, I mean, there are some tunnels I haven't explored yet. Possible there's another way out. Those crazy scientists, they keep getting in and out somehow. Maybe they have a map or something. Yeah, maybe they have a map back at their camp. Can you take me back there? I could, but isn't that dangerous? Yeah, but it's like your dad told me. We've got to take risks, and there's no time for fear. Okay, yeah, I can take you back there then. All right, awesome. Well, should we wake up my dad? No, let him rest. We'll be back before he wakes up. Now take me to that camp. All right, here it is. You have to be careful not to be seen. Look around. Where is everybody? I don't know. See, they can't just disappear. There has to be another way out. This is our lucky day. We can look around now and not get caught. All right, let me see. This is all some kind of paperwork and yeah, it's right here. Look, I knew it. And there's definitely another exit. It's not far away. Now look around. We've got to get some wood. Some wood? For what? We're gonna make your dad some crutches. That way he can actually walk. Oh, that's a great idea. We're so close to freedom, Tyler. We're gonna make it out of here.
There you two are. I was getting worried. Tyler, why didn't you tell me you were leaving? Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Oh my gosh, Dad, I'm fine. Drake and I went back to the scientist camp. Yeah, and we found a way out.
Wait, you guys found a way out? Man, I'm impressed. I appreciate it, Drake.
It's nothing. We made you some crutches. We gotta get moving. Look, it's the light. It's sunlight. We've made it.
We're so close. Finally.
So close, yet so far away. You're not getting out of here. Not him again.
You're not getting in the way of our escape. You two, move on. I'm gonna stay back and take care of this guy.
Absolutely not. No, Dad, don't. Don't throw your life away like this. We can all make it together if we run. You haven't seen the last of me. We did it. We're out of that stupid cave. I didn't think I'd ever make it out.
I'm so glad we're out of that nightmare of a cave, but we're only one step closer to getting home.
You know, there were times I didn't think I was gonna make it, but I had you guys. We did it together. Yeah, we did.
Tyler, are you all right? You're not looking so good.
I've been out here so long and, oh my gosh, Tyler!
Tyler, no! Come on, wake up, my sweet boy, wake up!
Chris, I think he'll be okay. He must have just passed out.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think I'm feeling it too.
You're probably having a fever from your broken leg.
Yeah, with this brutal sun coming down on us, like, Drake, I'm sorry, but I don't want to hold you back.
What? No, you're being silly. You're not holding me back. We need to just find water and some shelter or something.
We're in the middle of the desert. We're not gonna just find that. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to go on.
No, look, I'll go find us some water, but I will be back, okay? Just stay awake. Don't fall asleep. I've been running for hours. I'm so thirsty. Maybe Chris was right. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. No. Stop thinking like that, Drake. No. Wait, what is that? Am I seeing something? No, it's a town. It's a town. This is it. Finally! I'm saved! Oh no. Where is everybody? It looks like some kind of ghost town. Oh, is anybody there? I need help.
Yo, what's all the shouting out here for?
Please, I need help. My friends are out in the desert and I need water.
Whoa, easy there, dude. Just take it easy. You're in rough shape, all right? What's going on?
Thank you so much for helping us. If I found you any later, I might have lost my mind.
Well, of course, guys. I'm always happy to help out. It's no big deal.
Oh, this water is so good. I don't think I've had clean water like this in so long. So, where are we exactly?
Well, you might as well just call this place Nowheresville. We're about 50 miles out from the nearest city. 50 miles? There's no way we're gonna walk that far.
Yeah, especially with a broken leg, Dad. What are we gonna do now?
Oh, well, don't worry about that, man. Look, there's a train that passes through here all the time. Just hop on during one of their supply stops and you'll be golden.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Oh, thanks so much, man. Do you want to come with us?
What, me? Nah, dude. I love it here. It's nice and quiet. I'm away from the city.
Well, if you change your mind, you're more than happy to join us. But you want to stay here? That's cool too. Thank you so much for all the help you've given us.
Hey, anytime, dude. And good luck finding your wife.
Thanks. All right, guys. I think we just fill up our water bottles and we head out of here. All right, good, we made it. The train still hasn't left yet.
Did you hear that?
Sounds like fire. Oh my gosh, the whole town is burning. You thought you could escape. I told you no, there's no escaping me. This crazy guy again. I'm back on the surface. And I said if I came back, the world would burn. And look, it's burning.
All right, Psycho, why don't you just put a sock in it?
He set the whole town on fire. We've got to go help Jake. There's no time. The train's gonna leave. Well, we can't just leave him behind.
Drake, you can't forget about your family.
But I can't forget about the man who just helped us either.
There's no time for you to make this decision. You're coming with us. Let's go.
All right, fine. Let's go. Well, I guess this is the end of the line. Man, it's been a long day. Yeah, it feels good to stretch my legs.
Yeah, I get it. You guys with all your working legs over there, okay.
Hey, did you hop a ride on my train?
We needed to escape the...
Yeah, get out of here, you losers. No free rides. I'm calling the cops.
Let's go before this guy gets even more mad. I don't really recognize the city. I think I'm lost. Oh, man. How am I gonna get home? You'll find a way, Drake. Don't worry.
Look, I just wanted to say, Drake, I really appreciate all you've done for me. You brought my family back together. I wouldn't have been able to do it if it weren't for you.
Oh, of course. You guys helped me and I helped you. That was the deal, remember? Yeah, but without you, I might not have found my dad ever. We might all still be stuck down in that cave. Well, I'm glad you two are okay. I've just got to make it back to my wife somehow.
Well, look, for all your troubles, here, take this. This should help you out.
What? No, Chris, I can't take this. Use this to help fix your leg.
Man, quit reminding me about my broken leg. It'll be fine. And look, you need that money more than I do. You got a wife to get home to. Use that cash to hitch a ride and get back to her.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks again, guys. I wish you the best. And stay in touch, okay? We will. Good luck. I did it. I'm finally home. Why am I nervous? I mean, I braved a cave monster, mad scientists, a rickety bridge, but now I'm scared? Come on, Drake, pull it together. Don't be scared, get excited. Lucy, are you home?
Hello? What?
Honey, it's me.
Oh my goodness. Are you a ghost?
No, it's really me, I promise.
But the doctor, he said you were dead.
There's a lot to explain, but...
Yo, babe, I heard yelling. Is everything all right? Who's this?
Who are you?
Uh-oh. This is awkward. Well, this is Drake.
Yeah, the name's Drake. I'm her husband.
What? Lucy doesn't have a husband. What? I'm David. I'm her boyfriend.
Boyfriend? What? Lucy, what is going on?
I'm sorry. It's a lot to explain. I mean, I thought you were dead.
And I thought you'd be waiting for me or sad or something.
Drake, we can talk about this. I know it's a lot.
You're right. This is a lot. Where is the doctor? I demand to see him. Where is he?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Whoa, wait a second. Weren't you dead?
Well, clearly not. But you went around declaring that I was. What is going on?
Hey, yeah, I recognize you. The name's, Drake, right?
Yeah, that's me. So what happened? Why was I buried alive?
Oh, No. Funny story. So we actually got your room number switched up with another guy who actually did die. Huge misunderstanding, I know. I'm sorry.
What? A misunderstanding?
Hey, look, I'm sure this must be difficult for you.
You have no idea. My life is in shambles because you messed up a room number?
Whoa. Hey, look, I'm sorry, okay? Accidents happen, right? Now, come on. Hey, just calm down and I'll see what I can do to help.
Anything you can do? No, I'm all set. Thanks for everything, Doc. This can't be happening, right? This has to be some kind of trick. Oh my gosh. Drake, you are alive! Dad, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, I can't believe. We all thought you were... I know, you all thought I was gone. Turns out some awful mix-up at the hospital ruined my life. You won't believe the adventure I've been on. Oh, all of that doesn't matter, okay? You're alive. That's all that matters now. You're here. I know. You're right. I should be happy. You're so angry, miserable, and upset. What's going on? It's Lucy. She's already moved on. Dating some guy I don't even know. She was my motivation, Dad. I thought of nothing but getting back to her. Drake, you shouldn't hold that against her. This was hard on everyone. Being told that you were gone was the hardest day of my life. Oh, I'm glad you're okay, Dad. It just seems as though this has really ruined everything for me. Well, chin up, okay? You got a place to stay now. You can stay with me. Everything will be fine.
Oh, so sweet. Bringing us back to where we had our first date.
Yeah. I've been thinking about us, Lucy.
I have too. All this is so weird. I thought you were gone. I buried you.
That pain must have been unbearable.
Cried every night. I missed you terribly. Never thought I would be happy again. But in time I healed and I moved on. And now you're back. It's too much.
I agree, it is a lot. I don't want to upset you. I love you so much, and I couldn't stand being stuck in that cave, knowing that you thought I was dead.
So I was the main reason you wanted to come back?
I kept your memory close, and all the good times. So what's up with this guy David, huh? What's his story?
David's a really nice guy. I mean, he helped me a lot. He helped me when I was mourning you.
Well, is there any hope for us to get back together?
It's hard. I mean, I still love you, of course. But I also still have feelings for David, too. I just have a lot to think about.
Well, take time to think, okay? I mean, I'm not going anywhere yet. Thanks for coming with me, Dad. Of course. Whatever my son needs, I'm there to help him. It's just a little weird, you know? Going back and asking for your job back? Yeah, I used to be the manager here, you know? And everyone at work found out I was dead? Will they even recognize me? Are they even gonna believe me? Well, of course they're gonna believe you. Just talk to the manager and figure it out, okay? I don't know, Dad. I feel like my old life is a ghost now. It's haunting me. Maybe this is the time you do a change, you know? Maybe you do something you've always wanted to do. Maybe you're right. This could be the chance I have to change my life, improve on it, make it better. So what do you want to do now? I think I'm gonna take some time and clear my head. Well, at least one thing hasn't changed. This hiking trail. And the smell of the fresh air in the woods. This is actually really nice. It's strange. After escaping all that stuff, being out in the wilderness, being back in it makes me feel good. There's the mountain I was trapped under over there. Weird how big it looks. Even from here, you know, maybe I should give Chris a call, see how he's doing. Maybe I can work for the search and rescue department with him. Yeah, maybe that'll be my next step. What? A volcano? What is going on? I thought that was just a mountain. Wait a second. Dr. Ferdinand. He didn't want us to know what he was doing. Oh, this must have been it. I've got to warn everybody. This whole town is in danger. I need to find help. Hey, fire chief. Hey, we need your help.
Look, I'm sorry, but I'm busy dealing with an earthquake we just had.
No, that was not an earthquake. It was a volcano, and the lava's heading towards town.
Come on now, what are you talking about? There's no volcanoes around here.
See? I told you!
Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry for not believing you.
Please, help people!
Alright, we'll set up evacuation routes to get everyone moving. And there's no time to waste!
I want to help. I've got to do something. Maybe I can stop this. I'll stop that Dr. Ferdinand guy. There's only one way to do it. I've got to go back in that cave. Oh, Drake, what are you doing? I can't believe I'm doing this. You're going back in that cave again? After struggling to get out. I'm glad Chris and Tyler can't see me. They'll think I'm insane. There's no time. Ow! Oh! You're right, there is no time. No time for you. What? I'm in a cage? Oh, no! Oh, yes. You are an idiot. You really thought you could come back here and what? Stop me?
You're not gonna stop me. You're putting hundreds of lives at risk here. Yes, but now you get a front row seat at the end of the surface world. The end of the surface world? That was your whole plan the whole time, wasn't it? Exactly. The surface world is over. Yeah, well, enjoy the show. It'll be over for you soon. Once I find a way to get out of here. Oh, come on, Drake. You gotta think of something. Come on. Just gotta get out of here somehow. No! Come on, Ferdinand, dude. Really? Put a lock on the door. They didn't believe me. They said I was crazy. But I know we are meant to live underground. The surface world is over and done. Hey, weirdo, huh? Oh! You are done for. No, my face, no! Oh! It's over for you, Ferdinand. Shut the volcano down now. Oh, you can't make me shut this down. If you don't, I'll toss you in the lava myself. Now shut it down. Fine. But you're not gonna stop me. You're not gonna stop me next time. I'll be back, and I'll make sure everyone will know you're coming to the surface with me, and you're getting arrested. No, you can't throw me in jail. No! I'll get you, you little rat. What? No, not the surface, people!
There he is, the hero of the day!
What is all of this? No! Not the news! No! Yeah, thanks. I saved the day from this guy over here.
Now tell us, what inspired you to risk your life for us?
It was simple, actually. I recently lost my entire life. My loved ones, the people I cared about, my job, my home, everything has been gone. And I couldn't let anyone else go through what I did.
Absolutely incredible. You're truly inspiring.
Oh, thanks, but I mean, there was no other choice. You have to protect those that you care for.
Hey, are you doing all right? Wait, babe, where are you going?
Well, it looks as though that Ferdinand guy is going to be put away for a long time, which is good. But what am I going to do now?
Drake, there you are.
Lucy, what are you doing here?
I've been thinking a lot lately, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry for what?
I love you, Drake. I always have.
I love you too. What about David?
I'm sure he'll get over it. All I know is I can't live another moment of my life without you.